CrackBerry.com.
Hey everybody, Kevin here for CrackBerry Live, joined by Adam Zeiss,
Hola.
Simon Sage, and our special guest today, we've got Brian Reed of Boxtone. Now, Brian, we go back like 7 years now, I think.
7 years. I believe both of our first BlackBerry events were 7 years ago.
2007.
And that was in 07, and I was here not as a vendor, but as a participant. And then Boxtone started sponsoring 6 years ago, so this is our 6th year at what is now known as BlackBerry Live.
And you guys, like, Boxtone is a fixture here, because they usually have either a really good party or a really good, like, lounge area for us bloggers, or both. Exactly. Some years. You've kind of done it all.
We have done it all.
And the thing is, CrackBerry readers probably don't appreciate Boxtone. For our CrackBerry consumer users might not appreciate Boxtone, because you're like the enterprise guys. You take care of the installations where businesses have thousands of BlackBerries.
That's absolutely right. Our typical customer has 5,000 BlackBerries or more. We have customers with more than 100,000 devices scattered around the world. Some of our customers, like Clifford Chance, for example, they do business in 80 or 90 different countries. Right, so Clifford Chance is a BlackBerry 10 launch partner. Right, they were featured by RIM as BlackBerry as a very large global deployment. Now moving to BlackBerry 10, and also one of our long-term customers.
So give us the the 45-second what kind of services you provide, and then I think you have something new at the show you're doing too, right?
Absolutely. So Boxtone provides a unified management platform. So we provide real-time monitoring and automated support capabilities for these large, wide-scale mobile deployments. So, the bigger your deployment, the more likely you are. You have multiple servers, lots of infrastructure, users running all around the world. We provide that single pane of glass to manage all of the complexity and mobility. So what's really cool about Boxtone is you can get a real-time view of what's exactly going on with the user wherever they are in the world. They could be on a BP oil rig, they could be in a law office halfway around the world, but the IT department gets real-time view into what's going on so they can support issues, manage it, and tune performance.
Cool. And moving from BlackBerry 7 to BlackBerry 10.
So BlackBerry 7 to BlackBerry 10 is exciting for us. So if we switch to my playbook here, and I'm assuming they're able to see it behind us here. Yep. So what you'll see now is this is Boxtone. It's a web-based software product. It's installed in your data center or in your hosting environment. And you'll see there's 4 tabs across the top of the screen that configure, operate, support, and analyze. And those fit the different roles and the different tasks people are going to do. Now people use the BES to configure, so I'm going to skip that part. But if you think about supporting remote users, if you've got a user out in the field and they're having an issue with one or more of their devices, they might be like Johnny Flynn. So you can look up Johnny Flynn by typing their name into the search box in the upper right-hand corner, and when you pull it up, you can actually see that Johnny Flynn has 3 different devices. So we can see he's got a Q10 device, and we'll take a look at that. And so that's a Q10 device. As I scroll down here, we can see he's running a playbook and a bulb. I don't know how many people are actually carrying 3 of these, but this gives us a great way to look at it. This could be an example of someone actually migrating from a bulb to a Q10, and we snapshotted them in the middle of that transition. So what you can see here is not only can I see all the devices, I can actually see what's going on with the device when he calls and says it stopped working.
Right.
Right, so here I can see that there's actually a mailbox sync issue going on with the Q10 and Active Sync on the back end. If I look at the playbook, I think that one's actually working fine. And if I look at the bulb and I click on that guy, I can see that, for those of you who are BES admins, you know what a hung thread issue is. Now, Boxtone did a lot of our business actually on detecting hung threads, because that was one of the sort of challenging, hard to find issues in the BlackBerry environment that kind of made it slow down, but you didn't know what was wrong.
Right.
And so here now in this one place, you can see what's going on with all those devices. So the first half of what we announced is the support capabilities that are now available for the Q10 and Z10 devices. You can see this one's got a pre-release Q10 involved. And then I'm going to tab over just because of speed reasons, and we're going to look at the dashboard. So if you're a BES admin and you're at a large bank, one of our banks has over 100 BES, right?
Oh,
big
wow.
environment. So you can imagine that there's lots of servers running in your infrastructure. So I can actually sort my servers by domains, and here I can see my traditional BES. So these would be my 4X, 5X legacy BES, as it were, and I can see a real-time view of what's going on with them. Now what we announced today now was support for the latest BES that now uses Active Sync. So as I jump over to the Active Sync tab,
Where's the next one over?
I did grab it, didn't I? There we go, thank you. User error on mobile device. So what we can see now is, BES changed from MAPI to Active Sync. So we're
Right.
actually monitoring is that pipe between the BES and the ActiveSync server to see what's going on. So now what we're basically looking at is the ActiveSync infrastructure connected to the BES. We can see what's going on. We can actually see, this is kind of like a real-time cardiac monitor where you see the yellow dot, 3-hour window of what's going on. You see the yellow dot tells me there's something wrong. I can actually drill in and see what's wrong with my users, which I will attempt to do here. Well, let me pick it. So it'll come up in a second here as I talk, and that gives me drill down diagnostics of all the users in the sales group that might be having an issue. So I can see individual user, troubleshoot it fast, I can see system-wide. What's nice about it is now it covers the entire BES infrastructure, whether it was the legacy BES or new BES 10, and any device, whether the legacy device is going all the way back to 5X, all the way up through the 10 series.
That's awesome.
So we're very excited to be announcing that here. We actually held off on the release and the announcement so we could do it here at BlackBerry Live with our partner BlackBerry.
Perfect.
And we're excited to be able to actually announce it here and be part of you guys because you broke the news this morning for us. So we thank you for that.
Always good. So what do you guys do for training when it comes to, a company picks up Boxtone? Is there a lot of training that happens before the decision's made to implement?
That's a great question. So we do basic training, which typically is admin level training to configure for your user population. And if necessary, we have CBT-based training or hands-on if you want, for like your help desk or your IT department. What we tend to find is that the support product, where we looked at the 3 devices and the single user Flynn, that we can roll out with a 1-hour CBT. So any support rep runs the 1-hour CBT. It's basically navigational. How do I navigate the product, and you're done.
Okay.
For an IT admin, if you're doing a very large deployment, you might go to our 1-day training class for admins. We run them every month, just on a cycle. We have organizations. We have one bank, for example. They have 365 help desk employees supporting the bank. Now you might guess who they are based on how many employees they might have. So all 365 employees use Boxtone. Those help desk people that support PCs use Boxtone to support their mobile devices. So it's really nice because it's that easy to use that a support desk rep or BES admin out of the box can really plug in and make use of it quickly. So we don't need a lot of training to be successful with it.
And where should people go to get more information if they're not using Boxtone yet?
There you go. You can go to boxtone.com, just spell our name.com. There's lots of information there on the homepage. You'll see a feature for BlackBerry Live. It's got this announcement information and more on it.
Cool.
We're going to be running a webinar in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned. You can register for that. We'll do the deep dive, play with the software and all that great stuff like you let me do here, which I appreciate.
Perfect. Brian, thanks so much for joining us today. It was a great walkthrough of it. Something actually we've never done a proper walkthrough of Boxtone like that in all the years on CB, which now I feel like we're not doing our job as well as we should, but we took care of it finally.
You're always showing the cool device apps. I'm glad to be able to show a server-side app.
Yeah, no, it's
using
good.
a device,
This is great. We have the audience. I mean, we always have all the guys from IT, the IT decision makers are there, so it's great to be able to show it off.
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Thanks, guys, for having me. It was good to see you all.
Brian,
Stay
thank you very
tuned
much.
Working with you.
Appreciate it.
for our next episode of CrackBerry Live. We'll be right back.